IMCPL has acquired some materials to help people represent themselves in court without an attorney. These materials from the former Marion County Law Library are now housed at Central Library downtown. And we're here at Central Library speaking with Robin Kelley, who's Supervising Librarian, to tell us more about the legal materials available at Central Library. Hi,
Morning,
Robin.
John.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, just as background, again, the Marion County Law Library closed at the end of last year. Now, some, but not all, of those materials are here at Central.
That's right. We focused on materials that we felt were important to the pro se crowd, the pro se crowd being those people who want to represent themselves in court. Mm-hmm. So rather than take all the materials they had aimed at attorneys and judges, we don't have the room, and did we have time to catalog it all? So these were all things that went into the consideration of what we were going to bring over. Mm-hmm. And as a result, I'd say we took less than a tenth of what that library housed. Our focus was on forms, what they call forms. They aren't really forms, but we'll talk about that. And anything that dealt specifically with Indiana. And also we grabbed a general encyclopedia set that is just kind of an explanation of the law. It's federal in scope, but a wonderful, wonderful set that we've acquired.
Where can people find these materials here at Central?
These materials will soon be up on the third floor. We're still processing some of the items. We have a small fraction moved up to the third floor right now, but we're in the process of trying to get some cataloging done and get things ready to move upstairs.
You talked about forms, and some of the materials that we have here, again, not all, that were found in the former law library. What are some of the considerations people need to keep in mind when they come? They think they're going to be using these quote-unquote forms. What about that?
As soon as you use the word form, you think of a fill-in-the-blank piece of paper, and all you have to do is type in your answers to fit in the blanks. But unfortunately, they use the term form in the court system. I really wish they'd say something like filing, something to indicate that that's not at all how it works. I brought along an example of one of the sets that we brought over from them. This is the American Jurisprudence Reading and Practice Forms Annotated, and this is a very large set. But as an example, I happened to bring up the landlord and tenant volume, and within that you'll see things like order to show cause, why tenant should not be restored to possession. And in this particular piece, the blanks are very, very tiny, and there's a purpose for that. These are never meant for someone to come in and make a copy. You can see it doesn't take up the whole page, so it's not lined up for someone to just come in and take a copy. The purpose of these books isn't to provide fill-in-the-blank forms, but to give you the wording and the format in which you would type your own. You have to tailor it to your own circumstances. You have to put in everything that relates to the law as far as that particular form goes. So it's up to the person coming in to figure out which one of these they want to go by, and to figure out exactly how to reword this. They have to retype it and reword it so that it's perfect for their situation.
Now, it seems like a daunting task to represent oneself alone in court without the use of an attorney. Speak about the limitations that you as the librarian staff here have in providing that kind of direction or advice to people who want to come in and say, hey, I want to go it alone.
Right. We're not trained in the law. We're not lawyers, and there are a lot of restrictions on what a librarian can do. We can't pick out a form for someone. If someone comes in with a general idea, we can show them the forms books we have and let them try and decide, but they have to make the final decision as to which form is the right form for them. We can't make that determination for them.
Okay.
That said, we don't have law backgrounds. There are about 25 of us that move up and down through the floors, and we only have a fraction of our time to spend on that floor, and that floor also has magazines, microfilm, many other things that take up a lot of our time. So we only have a few minutes to spend with the patron that comes in wanting to use these things. So there are limitations in what we're legally able to do, and limitations time-wise.
Now, are there certain things people should be prepared to bring with them or do if they come and they say, I'm going to go ahead and do this alone and fill out the quote-unquote forms? What are some of the main considerations they need to have to make that determination if they want to do that?
One of the main things that they need to remember, these are reference books that can't leave the library premises. So they want to come armed with money if they want to make copies. It is 15 cents a page for black and white copies, 25 for color, but you're not going to find much color in law books. So be prepared for that. Be prepared to spend some time because you're going to have to try and figure out what's right for you. And we do have internet access that's free to the public. They can use their library card to log in, or they can use a guest pass for the day. And things like the divorce forms, that's our most popular topic. Where can I find the divorce forms? Anyone can access that anywhere over the internet through the Indiana Supreme Court site. So they don't have to come to the library, but if they don't have access, they'll want to make sure they have plenty of time. It's a little bit better to come in the morning because you're less likely to be kicked off the computer, and then they'll have to print out the copies, and it's a very lengthy document, so bring lots of change with you. You might want to bring about $10 in order to get your divorce forms printed out.
And you say these materials here at Central Library are on the 3rd floor?
They're on the 3rd floor.
Okay, Robin Kelley, Supervising Librarian here at Central Library. And for more information, you can call us at 275-4022 or visit Robin and her staff here at Central Library.